is now saying that he will ignore any of the White House's new gun control recommendations that his department finds unconstitutional. But this sheriff is not alone. At least 10 states now say that they're considering taking some sort of legislative action against the federal government. Those states span the nation, from Oregon all the way to South Carolina. Many sheriffs are now calling for action, like Lynn County, Oregon Sheriff Tim Mueller. Sheriff, welcome. Good to have you here today.
Good morning, Martha.
Talk to me a little bit about your process of thinking this through. You know, when you started to hear about these executive orders coming down from the president, you know, what kind of action did you take? What became your plan, and how do you back up your ability to carry that out?
Well, how it first started was I had a lot of folks in my county asking myself and my deputies, you know, what my position was on if any what they termed far-reaching or overreaching gun control laws were established from the feds. And yeah, I made my position known. I tell my deputies that you know, I didn't support anything, any regulations that would infringe upon the constitutional rights of our citizens.
Well, when I swore oath to a community, a group of people who live in Jackson County. I swore oath to the Constitution, which I swore oath also to the Constitution of Kentucky. And in that Constitution is the Second Amendment, and that's what this country is based upon. How can I rightfully, in my own mind and in my heart, come in and take guns away from people when that is their protection?
So your resolution makes it where if the federal government tries to make certain laws that say, you know, more regulations, more rules and regulations, okay, as of right now you're saying, not as of right now, but it's basically that you won't enforce those laws, correct?
Absolutely, you're absolutely correct. I will not enforce anything, any kind of unconstitutional laws, and in particular, I will not enforce anything that they say that goes against the Second Amendment, ever. I'll put myself between them. And I will, trust me, when I tell you this, I mean it. I will take my uniform off, and I will stand with freedom before I stand with the tyrannical thugs. Absolutely not. I will not, in any way, shape, or form, support anything that goes against the Constitution or the Second Amendment. I will not disarm anyone in my borough or anyone in the country, as far as that's concerned. You know, you look at what happened down in Katrina, down in Louisiana, where they deputized all these police officers as marshals or federal agents from all over the country, you know, and they're beating up 80-year-old women because they had a little revolver in their hand. That's disturbing. That's disgusting. The oath these guys, these thugs, took, you know, they violated their oath, and they're thugs. They're nothing more than thugs, and they disgust me.
I will not enforce an unconstitutional law against any citizen in Smith County. It just won't happen.
I personally believe that the provision in the Second Amendment is the final fail-safe, if you will. An armed society, if you read the Federalist Papers and study the Constitution, you'll see exactly why that is so important. And I believe that there is a goal to ultimately take as many firearms as possible.
Well, it's just like if you take out part, it's kind of like the Bible. Either you believe it or you don't believe it. Or the Constitution, either you believe it or you don't. You either live by it or you don't. I think people have tried to compromise it, tried to tweak it, mold it to whatever best suits them financially or for whatever other reason.
I am absolutely 100% pro-Second Amendment. I was troubled by the willingness to use executive order.
You know, and I know with the Second Amendment, the way it was designed, you know, was to protect the people from, also from the government.
Yeah, the Lynn County Sheriff's Office, myself and my deputies, we have the position that we're not going to enforce that law. It's a federal law. You know, if it comes down as a state law, then we'll have to revisit that. But we won't enforce federal regulations or federal laws. We're not required to. There's a separation of powers, and
well, I'm doing what I feel I am elected to do. I am elected with a very narrow range of responsibilities that have to do with public safety, law enforcement, and I'm not a robot. I'm supposed to think about what it is I do. And I'd point out to you, you've been talking about the NFL making statements. I remember then Senator Clinton screaming that she was tired of people saying that it was unpatriotic to criticize the president. All I've done is stood up and expressed my view of this very crucial part of the Second Amendment that I see in an instance of taking advantage of people's grief to pass things that in the final analysis are not in the best interest of the country, and the Second Amendment that is such an important part of protecting this republic.
Obama's DHS intends to kill you and me. DHS stockpiling arms and ammo. March 23, 2013. By Dave Gibson. Captain Terry M. Hestillo, United States Army, retired. On Thursday, Terry M. Hestillo, a retired Army officer with nearly 30 years of service under his belt, as well as combat experience in both Vietnam and Afghanistan, issued a dire warning to all Americans. The following warning was posted on Hestillo's Facebook page. I fully intend to address this in far greater detail within days, but ask yourself, with all the law enforcement available in the United States, who the DHS is preparing to declare war on inside the United States. With the massive purchases of almost 3,000 new armored vehicles, MRAPs, and 1.6 billion rounds of ammunition, with associated weapons, who in the United States do they intend to kill? Short answer, you and me. Anyone they think is standing in their way, to impose a new Marxist government. Anyone who stands for the United States Constitution. We must demand that our representatives, senators, and the United States representatives stand firm and immediately force, by law if necessary, the DHS turn over their arsenal of war-making equipment to the Department of Defense. Nothing justifies this massive arms build-up of an agency, whose jurisdiction is internal within the United States of America. They are preparing to go to war against American citizens.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice. Thank you so much.
This comes on the heels of the news that DHS is purchasing 2,717 mine-resistant protected vehicles for urban use. In light of the Obama administration's push for gun-grabbing legislation, a flurry of multi-agency training drills inside our cities and towns, the dismissal of several well-respected military leaders, and the purchase of urban tanks, along with 2 billion rounds of ammunition, one need not be a conspiracy theorist to be genuinely concerned about the imminent threat to our freedoms, as well as to our very lives.
Well, I guess I upset a few people the other day when I made a video. I used some profanity, and some people didn't like that. Well, I'm here to say I'm sorry. Okay? I didn't mean to upset anybody or insult anybody or hurt anyone's feelings. So please accept this as my sincere apology. Yeah, I don't think so. This boy don't roll that way. For all you people out there who cried and cried about, oh, I used profanity. Fuck you. Here's what I gotta say. If you didn't get enough the first time around, go fuck yourself and get some more. You get that? Did you get that one? Huh? You bunch of fucking cocksuckers. I want to make this video today because they're at it again. They just don't know when to quit. and neither do we. Kerry says U.S. will sign UN treaty on arms regulations despite lawmakers' opposition. Secretary of State John Kerry, that piece of shit traitor. Who is he to decide what we can and can't own? And fuck the UN. Who are they to decide what we, the American people, can own? I have a message to Kerry and to these cocksuckers over in the UN. Here's your fucking agreement. Sign anything you want to sign. It's not going to mean shit. It don't fucking mean shit to me. You know what I have to say? Come and take it, motherfuckers!